Today on Ridge Roamer, total game changer with the installation of this FlexiMount ceiling storage unit, which can also be used for removal and storage of your Jeep hardtop or pickup truck camper shell. So what I have been using is this kind of rigged up pulley system and then some tie down straps and wrap things up, and it sort of works. The issue is you've got two separate things that you've got to hold on to and lift, and then there's not any great way to hold it up there. Then you got to take these ropes and you got to sort of tie it off, and it's just 2 points, so it's a little wobbly, and I'm sick of it. Like, I need a good solution. So I got in touch with the people at FlexiMounts, and they have hooked me up with the solution that's going to be best for my needs, which is the GL1 garage ceiling storage lift. And so we're going to take these down here and we're going to put a proper solution up. So here's what we've got. You can kind of get a gist. You actually get 4 points that it's lifting from, a nice rack that you can actually put stuff on top of, and then points where you can lift from, as well as a rod to help in the lifting process and hold it up. So we've got everything we need in this kit to do a full installation. We'll pop into the future here real quick, give you a list of every tool that I use to get this done. Tape included in the kit, 2 Allen wrenches included in the kit, wrench included in the kit. The only things I needed to supply was a pencil for marking off of the template where all the brackets needed to go, a drill with a 3/16 drill bit for pre-drilling the holes for the lag bolts, and I used my 1/4-inch impact gun with the 1/2-inch socket for installing the lag bolts easily. And now let's get started. Everything in the kit is clearly labeled, screws A, B, C, D, E, F. Everything's nice, clean, very well constructed, so should be pretty easy. First thing we're going to do is work on the template. So they provide a cardboard template, and they even include masking tape that you need to put it up. So we're just going to install this on the ceiling so we can mark where all of the brackets go, make sure we're hitting the studs in the ceiling, and go from there. The ones with the squares here versus the ones with kind of the cross T. The squares where the main bar is going to go, and basically the T is going to be the auxiliary one, which I'm going to put that way so that my handle is further towards the back of the garage or carport. And then you're basically just gonna find your studs. It's pretty easy on mine because I've got nails all the way across the ceiling. If you're in drywall, finished drywall, you may need a stud finder, but pretty simple task here. And we're just gonna draw where they need to be, and then we can take the template down and install the brackets. Alright, so now that we've got the template up and all of the bracket locations marked with pencil, I'm going to take the template down. We're going to go up with each individual bracket. We're going to pre-drill a hole. This is a 3/16, and then we're going to take the lag bolts that come with the kit and we're going to install them with a 1/4-inch impact gun. It uses a 1/2-inch bit. Now that my holes are pre-drilled, we're going to take the brackets, and we've got our lag bolts with a washer. And those are just going to go in. I'm going to drive those into the ceiling. Next, we're going to take the big drive shaft end and we're going to hang it up in those brackets there. It expands, so it does matter which side goes where. So in this orientation, with my pulleys out further that way, the gear end here has to be on this side. And then get this pivoted around. There we go. Now with that in place, we're going to use Allen bolts A and install them through here to hold 4 of them to hold these in place. And then we've got bolts B that'll go through here with nuts to keep the shaft from moving at all as well. Now bolt and nut B go through the shaft. Now we're going to undo all of the cables from the packaging, and we're going to take the longer of the two. We're going to run them up to the pulleys so that we've got all 4 corners with cables hanging down. Next is assembly of the platform. So we'll pull out the mesh platform. There are little warning labels here that say this is the top. So face this upward. Yes, thank you, puppy. And then we're going to take the supports and put them on each end. And then we're going to use the hardware from C. Kind of as a close-up here, just make sure it's centered. You're going to run the hook bolt through on the inside, and then the nut on the back, and do that at each hole on each side. We'll get it all centered up and then tighten it. And these nuts can be tightened with the included driver as well. If you need more leverage, just use the Allen wrench, slide it through the hole, tighten away. Now that we've got the platform built, we're going to install the eye bolts through the holes here. There's going to be a washer and then 2 nuts on each of these eye bolts. So flat washer, 1 nut, tighten, and then the second nut has the jam nut. Now we've got our platform. It is hanging from the ceiling. The last step is you've got the rod that goes up to raise and lower. They do include a handle here so you can hand crank. That just goes on the end, and then there's a screw that goes in. Alternatively, you can use a drill. So if you want to use your drill to raise and lower, you can do that as well. Now we're going to take a look up top at the gearbox because there is a lock that we have to undo. Alright, so this right here prevents this from turning. Once it's out of the way, then we can get the hook in there. Like I said, I'm going to use my drill. Strong. Yep, I'm 250 pounds and I don't have any problem holding my weight, so plenty strong. We can go up as high as we want. We can go all the way down to where I had it here at waist level. Based on my height ceiling, if you got a lower height ceiling, it'll be able to come down closer to the ground. But it's easy to lower. Wherever you need. Put some up top. I'm going to be hanging my Jeep top, so I'll be able to just hook in to these bars or right into these and go around, grab the top off of my Jeep, lift it up as well. Easily put games and other stuff that we want to have out here. Cornhole boards, all that stuff up easily out of the way now. Tucked up out of the way, still super easy, plenty of room for me to drive even my big lifted Gladiator underneath. awesome. So much easier. Thank you guys for joining me today. Hopefully that helps you as you're figuring out what solution is best for you in your garage, your carport, barn, wherever you've got some ceiling access and support to be able to lift things that need to be stored, lift your Jeep hardtop, camper shell off of your pickup truck, whatever the case may be. This is it. This is the solution. Holds firmly in place. We've got the lock so we can lock it in. No chance of it coming down unintentionally. Incredible. FlexiMounts, look them up. This product, as well as many others that will make your storage solutions incredibly easy. Thanks for joining me. Ride safe. Roam more.